terms of your student population, in terms of the land on which you reside, in a very brief, be brief. Principal.
Right. South Technical Training Institute is located in Bomet County, Bomet East. We are located in a 5-acre piece of land. That is where the college is. Though we have also a piece of land, not exactly where we are, about 7 kilometers away, which is 8.8 acres. We have a population of 5,800 currently, and the college began in 2015. What is so important to note at this point is how the college began, because it did not begin like other colleges, which began under mentorship program. Began as a project of a constituency development fund of Bomet then. And that is why, that is when it began, that is 2015. And also, that is when I was deployed from wherever I was to go and begin that college in 2015, in January. That is when I reported. And so we had a first intake in May 2015 of 19 students, and then we have grown to 5,800 currently. We run programs in 10 departments currently. We have a teaching force of 180, thereabout, because of the new changes which happened recently during the recruitment. I want to believe that I've said enough in terms of introduction of our college.
Yeah, other issues will emerge. Yes, Mheshimiwa.
Just to clarify, you said you are deployed from wherever you are.
Where
is this wherever you
are? Before then, maybe my history, first of all, I was trained as a teacher. I did B.Ed Science, Kenyatta University, and I was posted to Narok High School in 1994. In 2002, I was deployed to become a head teacher at Seaward Secondary School. Then I went for further studies. When I was through, I was posted to Kibabi Diploma Teachers College in Bungoma up to 2015, actually 14, when I was deployed to begin that college, South Technical Training Institute. Yes, sir.
So Kibabi is your wherever you came from?
Yes.
We hear you. You're loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Mheshimiwa Bisau, did you know about Kibabi before? You seem to have had some information that we didn't have. So, Auditor, we can start.
Thank you, Chair. This is the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of South Technical Training Institute. The overall opinion for 2018-2019 was a disclaimer, and the paragraphs are as follows. The first paragraph is issues to do with presentation of the financial statement and disclosures. Thank you, Chair.
Principal.
Yes, sir. This was the response. This was our first under review, and we made an improvement on financial statements, preparations, and presentations in the subsequent years. And I don't know if sometimes I'm allowed to add anything apart from what has been
you don't have to read what you have. You are the principal there.
Yes. The way it is stated here that we actually made some improvement of subsequent years, that was actually our first audits to be done. I told you earlier that the college began in 2015, and when the college began, actually I was the only person who was there. I was the finance officer, I was the cook, I was everybody. Now, as the college grew, we were able now to maybe to engage more people. And of course, being a young institution, it is not easy to get even people who are qualified in terms of a preparation of such documents. So that is why that year was pathetic, and as you have heard, as you have known and you know it, that the opinion was actually disclaimed at that time.
Well, Auditor, are you comfortable with that feedback?
Chair, I want to confirm in the subsequent years the errors were not there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next.
But Chair, just for the record and to ensure that this doesn't happen again, Mr. Cheres,
Yes, sir.
as a professional, how would you take an institution and it's a one-man show? Before taking up the institution, you see the bad beginning has got a bad end. At least at that time, before you took up the offer, you should have said, I need the minimum structure. HR, accountant. You can't say that you're everything. I mean, it's especially you as a professional, you should have guided the then MP. I don't know, who was that? Who was the then MP?
Mr. Bernard Bett.
Okay. I mean, you, as a professional, when you take up the responsibility, you need to give some minimum, you know, sort of requirements. I mean, just for the future. And we are saying this because we're unanswered.
I stand
So that when you take up this institution, you need to be, you guide it, you know, as a professional.
I stand guided, sir.
Auditor?
Thank you, Chair. The second variance between the statement of financial performance and the statement of comparison of budget and actual amount. Chair, the issue is addressed. Paragraph number 3, variances between financial statement and supporting schedule figures. The paragraph is partially addressed. The ledgers were provided, but the journal to support the same are the ones which are yet to be verified. Thank you.
Principal?
All right, thank you very much, Chair. The response that we have there is that we have provided the schedules that supports the financial statements. The ledger schedules earlier provided were erroneous. Printouts have also been provided containing the listing of the items in the ledger. That is the appendix number 2.
Now, this is the accountant or something.
Yes, Chair.
A journal is a very basic document.
Yeah.
The auditor is crying foul that the journals have not been provided. You may have passed them. How did you? Because the auditor is saying that the financial statements have been provided, the ledgers have been provided. Did I hear you right, auditor?
Yes, Chair.
But the journals supporting the entries have not. That's your duty.
Yeah, Chair, I think if we stay guided, we will share the journals for verification. But what we shared were the ledgers, the correct ledgers.
Are the journals there?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes as an accountant, you can just do your things in the ledgers without having a journal, which gives you authority for that transaction. So the journals are there?
Yes.
So avail it to the auditor in a week's time so that he can verify that. Is that okay?
It's
Auditor?
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Next paragraph is on cash and cash equivalent. The anomaly is there, and the issue is partially resolved since the variances noted have not been addressed, but the schedules required, including board of survey, those ones have been provided and verified. Thank you.
Any improvement in subsequent audits?
Chair, I want to state the issue of cash and cash equivalent. We have it over the years, and as we discussed, I think it's an area they need to pursue further and address. They explained it to do with the issue of ineffective system they are using, so the errors are still there for this item. Thank you.
Principal, what system are you using?
Currently we are using ERP. How we began actually previously, we were using just an management information system, which was not as good as the ERP, the one that we have currently. Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at the issue raised here. A good ERP should be able to knock out most of these issues. Because when you have a good ERP, it should even assist you lighten your duties. So this issue of reconciliation, for example.
Yes.
I mean, gone are the days when accountants will have big books trying to reconcile manually. But now with an ERP, that should be done and dusted. But I take caption with what the auditor said. That issue is still recurring, meaning bado kuna shida.
Yes, sir. And in fact, currently we've actually done a very serious audit on this system. And it's like we are giving another chance in terms of, you know, when a system is being used, sometimes you may not be very sure if there is a problem with the system itself or there is a problem with us. So what we've just done, we've communicated to the offender, and then we have made a suggestion in terms of our training, again, to be done almost afresh in all modules, so that at least at the end of it all, we can call an audit again and check. If it is not going to serve us or work very well, we will take the issue to the Board of Governors, who will make a decision on the same. So otherwise, that is our stand as we are right now.
Principal, I am tempted not to be invited in that line of discourse because many people appear here, an ERP softens, or rather it lightens their duty.
Yes.
So either the issue of your team, you know, in a system is you give in good job, it gives out good job, is it?
Yeah.
You give in something bad, gives you something. So it's about, I mean, you may need to look at how your teams interact with the system. But I think, Auditor, you keep the matter in view as we move on. Next.
Yes, Chair. Next paragraph, receivable from exchange transaction, that is student debtors. The issue is also partially addressed because the accounts receivable have not been corrected. Thank you.
Principal.
All right. Allow me, Chair, to give to our finance officer to respond even to that one.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I think the same issue about the student debtors takes us back to the issues we had with the same system, where the system is not pulling all the ledgers of the students. So it's the matter that we are still pursuing, so that all the ledgers can be pulled. But what we provided a listing for that year.
Now, Accountant, the audit you are discussing is 2018-2019.
The issue is recurring also.
So there was a system issue.
Yeah.
Do you still have the system issue in 2024-2025, which is our last audit report?
About student debtors? Yes. Yeah, we have.
So for 5 years, you've not been able to delve in and look into that matter?
In fact, we have changed two systems, but we have found almost the same challenges in the two systems we have migrated.
Would the challenge now not be the system but yourselves? I'm seeing that's where the problem is. Because you know, I am an accountant myself. I'm a CPA.
Yes.
I know what systems can do. And when a vendor is in the market selling a solution like an ERP, it is meant to sort many things. I've had the principal talk about the various modules, is it? But you see now, I'm looking at a system that's not able to, 2018-19, you've just said that we have recurring issues in 24, whatever. Principal, don't you think that the problem is not the system, maybe your team?
Well, as I still indicated earlier, when it looks like we are having the same problem, we also asking ourselves, is the problem with the system, or we also contribute to this problem? And that is why we wrote the vendor.
I love your honesty.
Yeah, we wrote the vendor, and then we were telling him,
yes,
now, can you come again and take us through the same, all the modules, so that at least we check. If the problem will still persist, I believe we are people who can learn. I've got officers who can.
Just hold your thought.
Yes.
CFO, how long have you been there?
I've been there for 6 years.
What's your qualification?
I'm a bachelor. I have a bachelor in business management, banking and finance option, and I'm a certified public accountant.
Section? Finalist.
Finalist, yeah.
Then this should not be an issue. You should not be an issue there. Where is the person in charge of procurement? Because I'm sure that's a module. Madam, what is your qualification?
I have bachelor's in business information systems and diploma in purchase and supplies management.
You people are highly skilled. So there's a disconnect, in other words, because the system is disturbing us. And you know, you did invest public funds in the system. Principal, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes.
I will not say much, but hapo kuna mambo. Auditor, no, just a minute. Bisau had an issue.
Still the procurement person. Are you KISM or CIPS?
Yes, I'm CPS PK.
Were you there when this system was being purchased?
Yes.
Was a need assessment done?
Yes.
Need assessment was done?
Yes.
What about benchmarking with other similar organizations?
Yeah, we did.
You did?
Yes.
Now 6-7 years down the line, the system is not working and you're comfortable managing the system. Back to Mr. Cheres.
Yes, sir. To be honest.
Allow me to ask my question.
All right.
There are other organizations which are bigger than yours. They don't have system problems. And where you sit, I know you want to grow.
Yes.
If you cannot manage the little you have with your systems, as you grow, how will you manage? Will we be wrong if this committee concludes that you've got the wrong team, you've got the wrong system, or maybe you have the right team, but you've not established a good system, and you'd give us a timeline on where we're going to disengage the current system, but you disengage it based on a need assessment, benchmarking from other institutions, education institutions, and you give us a timeline through the chair that by this period, you'll have a good system which you'll have looked around comparable to other organizations. You know, success stories from other organizations.
All right. Thank you. Through the chair.
Yes.
I wish to promise actually because, you know, as you talk about this issue, we've also been discussing and about it. First of all, on my side, because I don't like things that looks like we are struggling with something, and it's like we are not moving forward. So that is why we wrote to the vendor, and we were telling him to come and begin now the process of training. Once we are through, we cannot tell even right now, surely, the way the way I've heard, that we might be having wrong system or wrong people. So before we make any conclusion, we need time to go through the process. And to me, I think 6 months will be all right for us to be sure.
But apart from that, through the chair, you also have the wrong contract. There is the performance clause that should be in every contract that manages software, is it services or goods. In this case, you have, Madam Procurement, you have a wrong contract. Your contract should be able to mitigate the non-performance and the failure to get value for money for what you invested in that. So relook at your contract again, because you're not able to really manage or mitigate the effects that have happened.
Thank you. So I think, Principal, you hear the concern.
Yes, sir.
And I've tried to listen to you. You are not sure if the problem is a system or the people you have. You are not sure. I want to give you 3 months within which you must correct either your system or your people. What am I saying in short? You know, the system cannot continue giving wrong results and you are using it, is it?
Yeah.
The HR person, I'm sure the contract you people signed is very clear in terms of how the vendor is supposed to support you, because the vendor is supposed to support you people so that the system can work for you. But you see now you are struggling, yet you invested money in the system. So I think the auditor will keep in view, and you may need to really bring your vendor and correct this issue within 90 days, within which time you give a report to my team here as to the success of the same. Auditor, is that okay?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Because, Principal, for your information, you may appear before us either in November, December, or January. I hope by that time, this system will be done.
Right.
Thank you. Next.
Next paragraph, revenue from non-exchange transaction. The reconciliation was done, but still we have the issue of journal vouchers, which the accountant has promised to provide, we verify.
Within a week, as you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Next paragraph, unsupported work in progress. Chair, this one is addressed. Next one is budgetary control and performance. The issue is not addressed.
Principal?
Right. From our response, during the year under review, students' enrollment increased due to efficient capitation disbursement. Attached is a capitation and development fund received from the government. And the report on student enrollment as February 2019 is Appendix 7S. Was that the problem?
Are you done, Principal?
Yes.
What did you say?
I was trying to relate the two. During the year under review, students' enrollment increased due to efficient capitation disbursement. Attached is a capitation and development fund received from the government. And the report on students' enrollment as at February 2019, that is in Appendix 7.
Chair, should this really be an issue, or are we trying to say there was no exit conference between the auditor and the institution? Because if this was sort of clarified and documents provided, it shouldn't be an issue here.
To the chair, yes. The issue we raised here was, the issue of budgeting, whether they did the proper budget estimates. But as he explains about the student, I think this one was explained to the team during verification, and we want to concur with the principal.
But then from where I sit, I'm saying it shouldn't have been an issue. Number of students increased, more income coming in, more receipts. I mean, that should be, if it's clarified during the pre-exit conference, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an audit issue.
Well, I think, Auditor, I just direct that the same issue is kept in your view so that you're able to follow up. But, Principal,
yes, sir.
The matter of you should be able to strengthen your budget forecasting and planning so that now the issue of budgetary control and performance is kept within your view.
Okay, sir.
Next is the submission of financial statements. In the subsequent year, I want to say they've submitted the financial statements on time. So I think they've taken heed of a recommendation on the timelines.
Principal?
I thought it was addressed. Yeah, being the first year of audit, we had challenges in preparing financial statements. But then we have made improvements in the subsequent years.
Auditor, is this matter still existing?
No, Chair, in the subsequent year, they are okay.
Okay. Next.
Next is lack of risk management policy. The policy has been, is there. Maybe what is lacking is for us to verify the implementation of the same during the current audit. Next is lack of IT strategic plan. The same is there. The strategic plan is already there. We will check on the implementation of the same.
Correct.
And the last one is lack of internal audit function and internal audit committee. The internal audit unit and the committee are there, and the issue is addressed, Chair.
Thank you.
Just for the record, Chair, through you, even with the existence of an IT strategic plan, with a proper ICT or, the ICT, how do you call it again, the software that captures this, then that plan is as good as non-existent. Because a good IT plan should be linked with a good software that manages the entire chain, from procurement, human resource, accounting, etc.
Thank you. Auditor, next report.
Report of the Auditor General on financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2020. The overall opinion was disclaimer. The first paragraph, that is inaccuracies in the financial statements, and the issue is partially addressed, but there are some equipment which have not been captured, and also the value of RAD. That's what is that is what has not been addressed, Chair. Thank you.
Principal.
On the issue of valuation, we did it later, and I think that one has already been addressed in subsequent years, especially for valuation of the land. And I think we've got evidence towards the same. Yes.
The equipment.
Maybe I can read all of it. The institute received several
equipment. You don't
equipment.
have to read word by word.
Yeah, okay.
You ought to have acquainted yourself with the contents of what you're going to read before us, so that you just summarize.
Yeah, in fact, under the same report, even the equipment also were valued. Yeah, together with the land.
But this equipment, when the ministry donates the equipment,
yes,
there's always a dispatch communication.
Yes.
That dispatch communication, because those equipments were bought at a cost.
Yes.
The cost is at the ministry, yeah.
Through the chair, it's like that has been a real issue, because even then, once the equipment was supplied, as we were not invited for such a forum like this, but for those who went for such a kind of a forum like this, they had the same problem. And it was discovered that from the ministry, they could actually supply the equipment, but without the costings. Yeah, and when we asked for such, we were told you can look for the valuer. That is what happened.
I think the CS is appearing before this committee tomorrow. One of the things he's coming for is the issue of equipments which are idle. Do you have any which are idle in your place? You will flag up the issue of the costing of those equipments. They need to be reflected in the books of accounts of the respective pivots. So I think that one we shall listen from the CS tomorrow. Next.
Variances between financial statements and figures in the ledger. The issue is addressed, Chair.
Good.
The next one is revenue from exchange transaction, as discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is compensation of employees. The issue is partially addressed.
Mm-hmm. What about it?
You can mention that one.
Chair, let me read the human resource record. Okay, the HR officer has been appointed, and approved human resource policy were verified and evidence provided. Improvement had been made, although the issue had not been resolved during the year under review. I think, Chair, what we are saying here is during the audit, the issue was there, but subsequently it was addressed. I think the wording is the one, so the issue should be fully addressed, Chair.
But I may have an issue with how you've talked about compensation of employees.
Yes.
And the explanation is not about compensation. It's about maybe staffing, recruiting. So what do you take on that?
Can I read the paragraph? Maybe then let me read the paragraph first. Compensation of employee. The statement of financial performance for the year ended 30th June 2020 reflect expenditure of Kenya shillings 22,143,655 incurred in respect of compensation of employee as detailed in note 10 to the financial statements. However, there was no approval from the board to hire employees who are involved in management and governance of the institution on contract basis. Further, as at 30th June 2020, the institution had 59 teaching staff and 83 non-teaching staff who were not supported with the staff establishment record. In addition, the institution did not maintain employee master data showing the personal details of each employees, which include the position held, job group, nature of employee, nor were there were no detail included in the payroll, making it difficult to ascertain whether the rates of the payment were as per the scheme of services. So, Chair, we were raising the issue of lack of establishment, yeah, and the other HR issues, which they have subsequently addressed.
Okay, next.
Next is unsupported expenses on repair and maintenance. The issue is addressed, Chair.
Good.
Number 6, unconfirmed cash and cash equivalents as discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, number 7. Next is unsupported receivable from exchange transaction as discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Next is property, plant and equipment valuation report for assets. The issue is partially addressed.
But we've discussed about that, is it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So next, Chair, is intangible assets. This one is also a part of the asset, Chair. The next one is trade payables. The required records and documents were provided and verified. Mm-hmm. Next is budgetary control and performance as discussed. Next is the resubmission of financial statement is also there the following year. It was there the following year, but it's discussed. Mm-hmm. Then we have lack of risk and fraud management policy as discussed. Lack of IT strategic plan as discussed.
But now, one thing, when a principal.
Yes, sir.
The auditor gave a disclaimer opinion. He gave a disclaimer.
Yes.
You know what that means?
Yes.
Because the first report you had was a qualified report. Here now you are giving a disclaimer. He was unable to do anything, to make a report. Have you heard of somebody saying in the pedestrian way, they talk of Kuruka story?
Chair, just for clarity,
yes.
I thought the first year also was a disclaimer. This one is also a disclaimer.
Yes, Chair.
The first year was a disclaimer?
Yes.
Yeah. Then that omitted
I'm
me.
keenly waiting to see the third one, if it will be a disclaimer as well.
So, a disclaimer opinion is, for lack of better words, Nikuruka story. Somebody says that ubambane na hali yako. Principal, are you with me? The auditor has actually thrown you under the bus.
Yeah, sure. And well, I also did not like it. To be honest.
Kindly allow the principal finish. Yes.
But then, as in the subsequent years, we kept improving actually in the way we do these things. And I had given first of all a background of where we came from. Yeah, I'm very sure from that third year going forward, and even where we are going, we will have better ones.
Members, I would wish order. In good faith, Chair. Order. Mheshimiwa, let your mic be off first.
Yeah, I wanted to say that we understand when an institution is starting, it has some challenges, and I agree with him. But now moving forward, because we have done year 1 and 2 and 3, let us not get the mess as we proceed. Because it is clear when you are studying, you have this teaching
yeah.
The same matter moving forward.
Allow Mheshimiwa Tonkei.
Thank you, Chair. You know, Chair, you should protect me from this man. I'm the only lady here. Chair, I want to congratulate, I'm Rebecca Tonkei, MP Narok, and a member of this committee. I had not introduced myself. I just forgotten that. And Chair, I like the honesty of the principal. You know, when you are really honest, and then you are ready to be assisted. Secondly, Chair, the team has qualified, highly qualified staff. And therefore, we are hoping, let me wait to see the next financial year so that principal, at the end of the whole session, then we can actually now give our verdict. Thank you, Chair.
Chair.
Yes, much more.
For record, I'm Ambassador Francis Sigay, MP Sotik, and committee member. Chair, I want to confirm that this institution is from my county.
I hope you're not conflicted. Thank you. Thank you. Mheshimiwa Bisau.
Chair, where I sit a bit concerned, I see Mr. Cheres is very casual. From the 2 years we've looked at, 2 financial years, you being in the driver's seat as accounting officer, and you say, I also didn't like it. And that's the performance of your institution, which portrays you as a leader. I think it's very casual. Maybe as we move forward, let's see how it works out. But from where I sit right now, I see you are a very casual accounting officer.
Chief Romodo.
Chair, my question is very straight and simple. Was the audit done concurrently or in different financial year? Just that. Because then, if we are expecting a different opinion and the audits were done concurrently, then I don't think so. So let us know whether it was done concurrently, Chair.
Consulting, Mheshimiwa, I lost your point.
Okay, Chair, I just wanted to know if the audits were done concurrently or for the years, because we might expect a difference and we may not get it.
Auditor.
No, okay, Chair, the audit was not done concurrent. It was done different for each year.
But no, what Mheshimiwa meant, of course you are doing for each year. Did you do them, this one of 2022, you did it, when did you do it? 2021?
For 2022, we must have
no,
done.
For 2020, when did you do the audit?
2021.
2021?
Yes.
Okay. So I think on the issue about the principal, Mheshimiwa Bisau, I note your observations, but I think the gentleman has been very honest, and maybe the cause of being that honest has appeared to be casual, but I think the statement, if I got the spirit of the statement, he spoke what he felt. Which was again, I've not invited you yet.
When the principal says, I also didn't like it, I think it is one of the best answers, except it was plain language, which maybe the professional here, my colleague, may not have liked it. But this one was a very honest. I have never had it since I came for this audit. But I think I must thank him for being honest.
Yeah, you proceed. This honesty is too much.
Yeah, it can be honest but casual at the same time. But I think, isn't it conflict of interest also, especially Ambassador having declared that the institution is from his backyard, and he's gone further to really strain to try and defend the institution, especially my point here.
Chair,
No.
defend me, Chair.
Now,
Defend me.
now, Ambassador is protected. I think, Chair, Buana Principal, you've had the opinion of members, eh?
Yes.
You had a disclaimer of opinion. That was our concern. And I think you've had the members' observations. Let's see how the next will be. So, Auditor.
Report of the Auditor General on financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2021. Overall opinion was qualified opinion. First paragraph, receivable from exchange transaction as discussed. Trade and other payable from exchange transaction as discussed. Property, plant and equipment as discussed. Budgetary control and performance as discussed. The next one is lack of ethnic diversity in the workforce, which has not been addressed.
Right. Again, I may not read exactly how it is, but I think I would like to say that it is true, because 90% of those who are, especially the non-teaching staff, are actually from the community within. And the background is what is affecting us. In fact, I looked at it the other day, and it looked like something endemic. I mean, it's like it has persisted in a way because when the college began, we could afford to pay little for employees. I can recall one day we had an interview for security men, and someone from Kisumu actually became #1. Now, when we gave him the offer letter and he read the terms of service, he declined. So the problem is the background. And it's an issue that we are addressing, and we cannot remain that way forever. In fact, where we are right now, what we can pay our workers or non-teaching staff is better. It's becoming better. And I can recall recently we had an interview, and we got someone as our IT technician, someone from, again, Kisumu. So I think we are now becoming better and better going forward. Otherwise, it was worrying. Yeah.
We've had people appearing before us like Emua Dikir,
Yes.
which is further inside. But they're able to comply
Right.
with the ethnic diversity. Salt is not right in the interior, as you'd like us to believe.
Chair.
Have you heard me?
I did not, yes. Yeah,
Have you heard me?
I heard you.
Have you heard of Emua Dikir TTI?
Yes, and I wanted to say something.
Do you know it is deeper inside?
It is deeper inside, but next to Gilgoris. And then bordering also Kisi, not far away.
Yes,
The principal is trying to, I don't know which word I can use so that I don't also dilute what I had said about you earlier. But principal, yeah, you are not honest here. Because Bomet and Narok County are neighbors. How much is it from Narok to Bomet? So you should know that there are people who are seated here who come from your county and who are your neighbors. Because Kilgoris as well is your neighborhood. Narok County, Narok West, Mulot, you know Mulot is just the border. So you cannot tell us that it's because Emurua Digir borders Kilgoris. That's not true. Yeah. So the fact is you've broken the law, and you need to adhere to the law. There's no shortcut about that. So don't bring about the proximity of other constituencies or other institutions to where other ethnic tribes are found. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Chair, I agree with my colleagues. But, Chair, where I come from, that county, Merigi is quite inside from Bomet. And you see now, the government has now tarmacked the road from Merigi to Bomet. So there will be no excuse next time of this. But for the last 4 years, that area has been inaccessible. And the road was very bad, and I know the conditions.
Mheshimiwa Sigei, you're out of order. A road being inaccessible is not an excuse for the principal to breach the law.
Chair, I was following what he said about Kisumu people who came for
the interview,
for the employment, and they were out of the area. So I'm just following. I'm saying, Chair, that the Constitution must comply with the law.
They have no otherwise.
Yes.
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes, Engineer.
Let's hear from the principal what the law says about the percentage. Are you aware of the percentage required of the dominant community?
Yeah, 70%.
70%. Yeah. That's why I'm keen on this.
Yes.
I'm asking him if he's aware of the what the law says about the percentage of the dominant community. And he's comparably telling me it's 70%.
So, Principal, your take on that before we move on to the next?
We stand guided, first of all, and we promise we will try all, not only us as administration, but even the managers.
through the chair,
Maybe,
what
yes.
I'm asking the principal is what is the percentage required to comply to the law? And you've told me it is 70%, and already you have 70% here, and you have not complied.
No,
The HR person,
Assist the principal.
Well, our HR also got employed recently elsewhere, so she could not join this team. And even as we talk right now, we don't have the HR in our college.
kindly. I request that Mheshimiwa Engineer assists the principal.
You should not have more than that of dominant community. But now, because now you are at 70, just try to bring the percentage down.
Yeah,
I
that
think
is
next
now
time, at least, let's see some improvement from 70 to at least
67.
Yeah.
And maybe, principal, just a concern. The 5,800 learners you have, do they all come from the same community?
No, they come from everywhere in the country, actually, but majority
Despite the road being bad?
But majority are...
Despite the road being bad, despite the college being interior, you have students from all over, but you can't have staff from all over.
Yes, sir.
I'll allow that auditor kindly take us on. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The next paragraph is lack of board performance evaluation report. The issue is addressed, Chair. Next is lack of approved staff establishment as discussed, lack of risk management policy as discussed, weak internal audit function. The issue is addressed, weak audit committee. The issue is partially addressed. The committee composition and minutes were verified. However, qualification have not been verified. That is the qualification of the committee, of the board members.
Mm. Thank you. I think, Principal, you take note that the issue of ethnic diversity is very important. Yeah. Because we wish a learner who comes from Rwanda, where I come from, coming to SOT should feel home.
Yes.
By seeing the face of Kenya. And this is what we are saying across. So the NCSE Act of 2008 is very clear as to what you should achieve in terms of threshold, so ensure that you comply. This committee last year gave 1 year for compliance. You only have 1 year to comply. The committee made a declaration that anybody who is not complying must comply by the end of next year. So I think you have a duty to ensure you comply, not by sacking, but by ensuring that the employment you do is very intentional and very purposed so that you're able to achieve diversity. Thank you. Auditor. Next audit.
Thank you, Chair. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2022. Overall opinion, qualified opinion. First paragraph, inaccuracies in financial statements as discussed. And then we have unsupported activity expenditure addressed. The issue is addressed. We have unsupported local travel and transport. The issue is addressed. And supported receipts from exchange transaction is discussed. Accuracy of property, plant, and equipment is discussed. Unsupported trade and other payables is discussed. Budgetary control and performance as discussed. And the last one is irregular ethnic composition of employees discussed.
Next.
Report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of for the year ended 30th June 2023. Overall opinion was qualified opinion. First paragraph, inaccuracies in receivable from exchange transaction as discussed. Inaccuracies in trade payables as discussed. We have inaccuracy in refundable deposit, that is caution money, partially addressed. A separate bank account has not been opened to deposit the caution money for the students. Thank you, Chair.
Principal?
Well, the matter was discussed actually by the Finance and Infrastructure Committee, of the board as per the minutes which are attached in Appendix 3, and we are simply waiting for to be forwarded to the full board of governors. However, we also stand guided in this meetings committee because currently, from 2025 May, we've not been charging again the caution money when the fee structure was changed. Yeah, so we don't know whether we will still open the account or what do we do about it. The matter is before the board of governors now.
Well, you know, one thing that has been there has been, I think some regulations were published some years back. The need to have a dedicated account for refundable deposits. The caution money is one of those refundable deposits.
Okay.
The reason was, many people have ended up using that money for the operational and other expenses, and when this money is due, you don't refund. So you see, it was a legal issue, and I think whether you're collecting or not, but since you have that money with you, otherwise you'll do what we call commingling of funds. You now commingle your funds, right? So I think that is where that regulation came from.
Okay.
Thank you. Just before, Mheshimiwa Karido, had you introduced yourself?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Auditor, continue.
Next paragraph, inaccuracy in employee benefit obligation. The issue is not addressed.
Principal.
Right. Actually, the discrepancy that we observed arose actually by the system failure, again to include deductions, which are payable by the employer. And attached is a request letter to which as our system vendor for the same rectification, for them to rectify that issue. So it is still to do with the system again.
The issue of the system?
Yes, sir.
So do we say that what we discussed with regard to the system subsists up to this, auditor?
Yes, even I think we have the issues even the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I think by the end of it, we shall make a recommendation of that system. So I think let's keep it in view until we reach 25. Next.
Unsupported transfer of depreciation from accumulated surplus to capital grant, the issue is addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Inaccuracy in statement of cash flow is discussed. Budgetary control and performance is discussed. Then we have non-compliance with the National Cohesion and Integration Act 2008 is discussed. We have weak cash management, weaknesses in cash management. The issue is partially addressed.
Principal? Right. It goes back to the same system, and as I indicated earlier, that we've certainly sent a letter to the same vendor to ensure that the invoices are captured in the system. And the letter is attached again that we have written. We indicated the same. That was one of the issues that they are supposed to come and address once they come back to us.
I think, Chair, we are setting a very bad precedent. If we continue like this, we'll never have these issues nailed. We have a system on the 4th, 5th year. You have an accountant here who says is fully qualified, but we're talking about the same situation. It happened the other year, the year after. It happened this year again, and we continue saying about the system. What action have you taken to ensure that this is fixed? And if the system is not working, why don't you then also now discontinue the system vendor and then do it manually? Or quickly work within some 3 months timeline and get a good system? Because otherwise, we know we'll just be, Chair, we'll just be here, flipping pages and talking about the same story year in, year out. We need to see some seriousness from this particular institution.
Thank you. I had made a ruling with regard to the system. You remember I gave 3 months in the earlier case, so I think that will fall under that ambit, that within 3 months, that issue of the system should fully be rectified. Thank you. Auditor.
Chair, the last paragraph is on that system, so it's as discussed. Chair, next is the report of the Auditor General and financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2024. Overall opinion was a qualified opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, first paragraph is on revenue from non-exchange transaction as discussed. Then we have unsupported use of goods and services. The issue is addressed. Unsupported debtors issue is addressed. Unsupported inventory issue is addressed. Unsupported refundable deposit as discussed. That is on cushion money. Unsupported trade and other payables as discussed. Then we have management of capitation issue is addressed. Unconfirmed cash and cash equivalent as discussed. Budgetary control and performance as discussed. Lack of training licenses partially addressed. Thank you, Chair.
Had we looked at that matter?
Yes, Chair.
Had we looked at that matter?
That is on the training licenses.
We've not, is it? Baseball?
Right. On the issue of licenses, we are actually following up the issue seriously. What happened at some point, for those who are under board of governors, we have got no problem with those lecturers because the condition nowadays is you must have a license. Now, at some point in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, the recruitment was done by the public service. And then they could recruit actually people who are skilled in certain areas, not necessarily having the license. And they were given a chance to go to Kenya School of TVET, to get pedagogical skills. So those are the people we are still handling currently. In fact, during the year of review, we had about 57 who did not have the licenses. But now, as we talk right now, there are about 30-something, about 34, 35, who do not have licenses. And we have been encouraging our lecturers to attend Kenya School of TVET, and I think they are doing, in fact, majority of them are right now in Kenya School of TVET. So very soon this problem will be sorted out. And if you look at the score sheet, which is used by the Public Service Commission right now, they are giving advantage. If you've got pedagogical skills, you are given 10 marks ahead of the others. So currently, we rarely employ anybody who doesn't have a license. So I think that issue is going to be sorted out very soon.
Yeah, what the auditor is saying is that you have quacks in your institution. A quack is somebody who is not licensed. Are we in agreement? Who is a quack?
Who is not trained?
Not trained, but licensed.
Oh, yeah.
You can be a doctor, having gone through the University of Nairobi, but the moment that you don't have the accreditation required, you cannot treat in this country. You can be an accountant, like your colleague seated there, but the moment you are not accredited, you are treated as a quack. So while we know from this area where we sit, is that there has been a problem in the ministry, whereby some of your trainers don't have pedagogy, but there was a resolution that all these trainers must undergo training. And I think that it was time-bound. So I was a bit taken aback when I heard you talk about 2018. 2018 is long ago. Even those who were employed last week, the letter that came out last week, they are encouraged. You may have been an engineer who would not have pedagogy, but now that you have been employed as a trainer, go to Kenya School of TVET, get the necessary skilling, and apply for licensing from TVETA, you continue. Yeah. So I think you need to encourage your staff so that we don't have this issue of others. They are qualified, but the auditor will flag them over as what? As quacks, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow I'm meeting with Waziri. I think that matter should also come out because we need a policy guideline on how that should be eliminated. Next, auditor.
Next is non-maintenance of memorandum cash book. Chair, that year they didn't maintain a memorandum cash book, but in the subsequent year the issue is not there, so they must have Next is lack of impressed register. The issue has not been addressed.
Status now. Status now.
In the subsequent year, we've not raised the issue, meaning they must be maintaining.
Okay, next.
Failure to prepare human resource plan, the issue is addressed. Failure to observe ethnic balance is discussed. Lack of fee policy, lack of fee payment policy, issue is partially addressed.
Principal.
Well, the Board of Governors in a board meeting that is the 20th March of 2026, the minute is recorded there. The recovery of long outstanding fee debts deliberated on and adherence of the recommendation was actually the issue which it was discussed in that board meeting, and then there were deliberations actually which were made concerning the same, and I think even the finance officer is aware, and then he can also say something on the same.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Also on the same, the board, there's a draft policy that is awaiting approval.
When is the board sitting to approve?
I think the next meeting is...
Yeah, in the next board meeting, which is supposed to be actually next month.
Yeah, auditor will keep the matter in view. Next.
Next is staff and establishment. The issue is addressed. Then we have lack of pre and post inspection of repairs. Issue is not addressed.
Principal.
Well, with that one, what I have here is that the recommendation actually was implemented in subsequent years. Yeah, and we can confirm in the next audit report. It was done. That one I'm very sure. The issue of
Chair, in the subsequent year we don't have the issue.
Okay.
Then the last one is inaccuracies in tangible asset. The issue is addressed.
Correct. Next.
Report of the Auditor General on financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2025. Overall opinion was a qualified opinion. First paragraph, inaccuracies in statement of cash flow as discussed. We have other income. The issue is partially addressed. There were documents which were not provided to support revenue from tractor hire. I think that's the only issue that is pending in that paragraph.
Principal.
Okay, thank you, Chair. The document that was pending is the register for hire of tractor, which we were requesting to the committee to allow us to submit to the auditor for verification.
Why didn't you submit then?
Actually, before we didn't have, they were recommending that we must have an application for the hire of tractors. But initially, the applications were not there. So we had discussed that we design a form for the application. But in that year under review, you were recording in a register.
Okay. Auditor, what do you think of that?
Since during the current audit, we will check whether they've implemented our recommendation on application by those who are using their equipment.
Okay. Next.
Sorry. Chair, sorry, I think that was the last paragraph for that year.
Are we done?
Yes, that was the last paragraph. No, we have 2025.
Yeah, we have one more to go, yes. 2025 years.
Yeah.
Is it not this one?
Sorry, sorry, Chair. Sorry for that. I think we were continuing with the 2025.
Yeah, because we had finished 2024.
Yeah, that was the second paragraph for 2025. Yes.
That shows the auditor is also tired.
I'm referring to many document. I think I got mixed up. Sorry for that.
Okay.
Okay. So the third paragraph is on unsupported trade and other payable as discussed. Failure to disclose work in progress. The issue is not addressed, Chair.
That's a new one. Principal?
Now, for the work in progress, the amendments will be effected actually in the subsequent financial year by passing a journal from buildings acquired to work in progress. That is what we promise, that we will do it.
CPA, you are the one who didn't do what was supposed to be done.
Yes, Chair. That's why we are promising to pass a journal. The omission was noted. But,
just a concern. How long have you worked as a CFO for this station?
5 years.
5 years is enough experience.
Yeah.
Because when we began our first 2019-20, the issue of journal JVs came up.
Yeah.
It's now coming up in your last year again. So you see now, inakana kwamba it is bringing to focus your professional. Do I say what I want to say?
No.
Okay. It's okay. I think auditor.
Chair, next is unsupported receivable as discussed. Then we have budgetary control and performance as discussed. Of a correction of revenue from non-exchange transaction, the issue is addressed. Lack of training licenses as discussed. Failure to prepare bank reconciliation statements addressed. Issue of ethnicity as discussed. Lack of effective information system and IT capacity as discussed. Delay in completion of data unit not addressed.
Principal?
First of all, okay, let me just state what is here. Chair, the major contributing factor to delay in completion of the dairy units is the delay of disbursement of funds by the government. In light of the above, the management through writing requested the contractor to extend the contract period, and the relevant documents have been provided for review. That is in appendix number 8. And yeah, I think that is very clear.
Auditor, are you okay with that?
Chair, the issue here, I think, was the response which was given initially before we did the briefs. So we are in agreement.
Okay.
Yes.
Next.
So the last one is delay in completion of spare part stores. The project is complete. What is remaining for us to verify the use of the same, whether it has been put to use during the current audit.
Principal, is that facility in use?
Yeah, yes.
It was commissioned?
Right.
It's in use?
It is in use now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that brings us to the end of that report. Madam Principal, just to bring to your attention that we've come to the end of your submissions, and you had quite a number of issues, 86 of them, quite many. But I want to appreciate the fact that there has been some incremental improvement. I hope in the audit that is currently taking place, you will not again go back to what you already gained. The CPA ensure that those clerical mistakes don't happen, because you see they just add to the number of issues that you have. Otherwise, I want to wish the principal and your team safe safari as you go back to Bomet County.
Before they leave,
yes.
There's a schedule here about driving school class register, which I'm not understanding about it. But if you look at the signatures from different people, it looks like it's been signed by the same person. There is a schedule here, and I think it's good to understand it is for what.
Let me have a look at it. No, thank you, Mheshimiwa. You flagged off an issue here that driving school class register. Rono Kenneth. Are you with that document, Principal?
Yes, yes.
Who is Rono Kenneth?
Let me check. Rono Kenneth.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the list for the students. So this should have been a student.
And Peter Langat.
Is also a student.
Members flagged off an issue there that it appears that document was signed by one hand. And from my naked eyes, it's almost true.
Well, for the names, the writings, for the ones, the others are typed, these are handwritten. Yeah, but the signatures, not really. Yeah, it's a class register. It has to be done by every person. In fact, by the way, in our own controls in college, in fact, I even told the instructors.
Do you know it is possible to have a ghost class and have signatures generated?
Yeah, it is. But we also have, we also have controls, because what normally happens, I've instructed even the instructors themselves that wherever we meet the senior officers we have in college, like deputies, while they are doing their trainings, where we meet, we always check like the check units that we have in this country. Wherever we meet, we check at that moment. I'm saying the way we work also, we work like them. Yeah, so we check also these people, how they are working. Wherever we meet, we check the register first. Are those who are in the vehicle our students? Number one. And then, the signings, who allowed them to go out and who authorized. We always check that. So this one cannot be done by one person. They must be done by the students.
Okay, thank you. So allow me wish you well, the team. Thank you for appearing, and we shall be meeting again not long after this for 25, 26. And I hope that you'll come with a better report. Otherwise, we shall send you back packing. This time around, we've been a bit magnanimous because you appear to be the first time appearing here.
Yes.
So, and Mheshimiwa Sigei seems to be a good champion of TTI. Thank you, kindly support. Okay, Safi Salama.
Thank you so much.
Next, Levasha. Relax. Bado. Hakuna, wacha kumpatia hope.
This thing called eating, hatuwezi lipa part payment, I'm buying a bus na
tunakujuza Kenya saa zote daima. yako, kituo chako, habari muhimu, burudani ya kipekee, nyumbani kwa habari na burudani. KenLive iko fresh, safi kabisa. KenLive, sauti yako, vibe yako, kituo chako, habari muhimu, burudani ya kipekee. KenLive, nyumbani kwa habari na burudani, habari za ukweli bila kuficha, matukio yote, baadhi ya elimu. Nyumbani kwa habari na burudani, habari za ukweli bila kuficha, matukio yote kwa ajili yako. Asubuhi, mchana, usiku pia, tunakujuza Kenya saa zote daima, kutoka mtaani hadi kwenye skrini. KenLive iko fresh, safi kabisa. KenLive, sauti yako, vibe yako, kituo chako, habari muhimu, burudani ya kipekee. KenLive, nyumbani kwa habari na burudani, habari za ukweli bila kuficha, matukio yote kwa ajili yako.
Good afternoon, I'm Boyd Were, MP Kasipo, Vice Chair of the committee.
Thank you, Chair. Engineer Zambia, Kalome constituency, and a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair. Ruth Kakuya, Clerk to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. Winnie Otieno, Clerk Assistant to the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Vice Members. Noel Amtabi, Legal Counsel.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Eunice Liavuli, Research Officer.
Chair, my name is Alex Amwata, the Hansard reporter.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Peter Mutevi, Anod Officer.
Enoch Kumano, Clerk Assistant.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Felix Itonge from the Office of the Auditor General, Liaison.
My name is Kenneth Biagon from the Office of the Auditor General.
Chairman and members of the committee, my name is CPA Henry Nyandwaki, Director of Audit from Nakuru Regional Office.
Principal and your team.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Veronica Chege, Principal Naivasha TVC. I've come with my finance officer. I can introduce himself.
Thank you, Chair. My name is CPA Herman Munyale, Finance Officer, Naivasha TVC.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Amos Wako, Procurement Officer, Naivasha Technical.
Thank you. Principal, your seat seems to have sunk low because I'm only seeing a fraction of the head. Now you are in better view.
Thank you.
Thank you. CPA Dick Maungu, MP Luanda constituency and chairman of the committee. And therefore, we are here to check on Naivasha Technical and Vocational College for 4 years.
Yes, sir.
And from the 4 years, I'm told I can see that you have about 33 issues. Madam Principal. I can see you have 33 issues.
Yes, Chair.
So tell us something about Naivasha TTI.
All right, I will start by saying that Naivasha TVC is a public institution that is located at Logonot in Nakuru County. We have a population of around 500 trainees, but we are doing our very best so that we increase the population. Yes, sir.
The chairman's report for the year 2022, and the first paragraph is on inaccuracies in comparative retained earnings. The issue has not been addressed. The statement of financial performance reflects comparative retained earnings balance of Kenya shillings 2,612,470, while the statement of changes in net assets reflect an amount of Kenya shillings 4,465,220, resulting in an explained variance of Kenya shillings 1,852,750.
Principal.
Yes, Chair. Chair, allow me to invite my finance officer to respond to that question.
Thank you, Chair. The amount in that we are talking of the 2,612,470 in the statement of financial performance actually shows the net surplus for the financial year 2020-2021, while the amount of 4,465,220 in the statement of changes in net assets reflects the accumulated retained earnings as at 30th June 2021. So that is well shown in Appendix 1.
Auditor, are you satisfied with that answer?
No, I'm not satisfied with the answer.
Yes.
The appendixes were actually provided and reviewed. However, as at the time of certifying the financial statements, that had not been addressed. So the certificate had already been issued with that variance.
So it's more of the inaccuracies?
Yes.
Finance. Why should we be having these inaccuracies?
Maybe it is a difference of, because the issue mostly, when you look at the financial statement, the statement of financial performance, in that same year, we actually had the 2 million.
But that 2 million, when you look at it, is actually the net surplus in that year of 2020, 2021, while the 4.4 million is actually found in the net changes in net assets, which actually shows now the accumulated amounts that you actually now transfer to the statement of financial position.
And auditor, going forward, do we have these inaccuracies? Do you have that same issue?
Yes.
Chair, I think in the 2022, 2023, the issue was not actually there. The issue about the retained earnings.
But you know, finance, you know, you're qualified, and I don't know why should you be having this type of errors, yet you're qualified in what you're doing.
I think, Chair, the whole issue just came up because of, I think, the transferring from one statement to the other statement. That's where the issue actually emanated, which I'll actually be in a position to have collected in the next years.
Yeah, because, you know, auditor, since the certificates were already issued, we can keep in view as we proceed.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair.
Training Institute. However, the letter from the Ministry of Education outlining the terms of engagement or the handing over notes between the two institutions at the close of the mentorship period has not been provided for audit verification. Further, it is not clear what assets and liabilities that the mentored institution still holds for Naivasha Technical and Vocational College. So, Chair, that matter is still outstanding.
Principal.
Thank you, Chair. The management sent a letter to Kabete National Polytechnic, letter dated 21st November 2023, requesting for an official handover, but in their response, they stated they had no counsel, hence the handover could not take place. Later, when the BOG meeting held on 22nd April 2026, the BOG directed the principal to liaise with the principal of Kabete National Polytechnic so that an official handing over can be conducted by September 2026, which is evidence in Annex 5, where we did a letter to Kabete National Polytechnic, and they have responded that we are going to do it by 6th of August 2026.
By 6th of August?
Yes.
So that's in order. So we'll give you 2 months to ensure compliance.
Thank you, Chair.
Auditor.
Okay, the other paragraph is on budgetary control and performance. That was partially addressed. There was an underfunding of Kenya shillings 2,861,680, or 19% of the budget. In the circumstances, the underfunding affected the planned activities and may have impacted negatively on service delivery to the public.
Principal.
Thank you, Chair. The underfunding was as a result of government failure to remit the fourth quarter capitation for the financial year 2021-2022. The overall budget underperformance was as a result of government failure to remit the fourth quarter capitation for the financial year 2021-2022. Hence, expenditure had to be scaled down.
It's okay. So it's all about capitation.
Sure.
So as a committee, we'll be meeting the CS tomorrow. So I think it will be part of the issues that we'll discuss with him.
Thank
so I think auditor can proceed.
The second year, 2022-2023, the first paragraph was inaccuracies in the financial statement. That was addressed.
Proceed.
Variances in
the basis.
Pardon, Mheshimiwa?
Was it qualified and
It was a
Oh,
qualified
yes,
opinion.
yes, was, opinion.
It was a qualified opinion.
Okay, proceed.
So the first paragraph was inaccuracies in the financial statements. That has been addressed. Second paragraph was variances in historical cost between the financial statements and asset register. That has also been addressed. Undisclosed property, plant and equipment. That has also been addressed. Non-disclosure of intangible assets. Chair, this has not been addressed. The statement of financial position reflects nil balance in respect of intangible assets. Review of expenditure supporting documents revealed that the institution procured a management information system, optimum system with initial cost of 75,000 shillings and monthly installment of Kenya shillings 20,000. However, supporting documents, including contract documents, indicating the actual cost of the system was not provided for audit. In addition, the value of the intangible asset has not been included in the financial statements.
Principal.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to invite my finance officer to give a response to that.
Thank you, Chair. The management actually entered into a contractual agreement with Optimum Computer System to provide services for an NLP in the September 2023. So the service was not to be paid. The service was to be paid with an onboarding fee of 75,000 and a 20,000 monthly service fee. Then thereafter in 2025-2026 financial year, on 9th September 2025, the management and the Optimum Computer System Limited amended the contract for the supply of management information system to specify the contract period and the contract cost. Therefore, the MIS is now valued at Kenya 2,200,000. The intangible asset is therefore included in our financial statements for the financial year 2025-2026. So in Appendix 4, we have the addendum for that contract, and which is duly signed. And we also had the letter of requesting changes of those terms. Thank you, Chair.
But you know, Finance, the issue that the auditors outlined is documentation. You know, he has not yet received anything. Am I right, Auditor?
Yes, and specifically, it was not actually included in the financial statements. When they were preparing the financial statements, that intangible asset, because they did not have actually the value, they could not include in the financial statements. But that is the question that we are asking, because the financial statement was not showing a true and fair view of the position.
And it can't be amended.
And it can't be amended because a certificate has already been issued.
And as the institution, as the principal, the institution furnished you with the documents they're indicating.
But it can be amended.
Yes.
You can do a prior year adjustments to just recognize the expenditure then under the asset.
Yes.
Then depreciate it from that time to the current.
Yeah, I think, Finance, you need to liaise with the auditor so that you can furnish and make the necessary amendments so that the issue shouldn't recur in the next years. So I think I direct that you liaise with the auditor.
Yes, Chair.
Within 1 week, at least to ensure that it's amended and you furnish the auditor with the necessary documentation.
Yes, Chair, I'll do that.
Auditor.
Yes, Chair. Paragraph number 5 was on outstanding receivables from exchange transaction. This issue was also not addressed. The statement of financial position reflects a balance of Kenya shillings 560 in respect of receivables from non-exchange transaction. The receivables have been outstanding since 2018. There was no policy on the impairment of long outstanding receivables, casting doubt on the fair statement of the accounts and recoverability of the receivables balance. Thank you, Chair.
Principal, what measures have you taken to ensure that these amounts are collected?
Thank you, Chair. Allow me again to invite my finance officer to respond.
Thank you, Chair. The amount relates to the unlimited amounts by our mentor, Kabete National Polytechnic, in the financial year 2018-2019, when the college was under mentorship. The management had written a letter to Kabete National Polytechnic, and they responded in financial year 2024-2025. The matter was presented to the Board of Governors for ratification, and copies of the letter and the minutes have been provided under Appendix 5. So we have those letters whereby in the year 2018, we had requested for a loan so as to actually have Kenya Power to actually procure a transformer, which was amounting to 1,060,960.
Transformer, I'm not getting. Where, you're talking about receivables.
Yes, it is part of now that I'm trying to answer the where the 560 came from.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah. So, because money, the capitation money was actually being wired through Kabete, and we had requested for an assistance of this amount to be paid to Kenya Power. They actually did that, and they paid for Kenya Power. So when we asked about now this amount, their answer was the 560. We are saying that they actually owe us. They actually said the amount that they had given us was actually part of this 560, because they actually procured this transformer, and they never asked any other coin from that. So the amount was actually cancelling out, because we are asking them to give us 560, but on the other side, they're also asking us, we actually give them the 1 million. And being the mentor, so I think that's where the issue came.
But does that even make sense? Because, finance.
Yeah, that one does not really answer our question.
Yes.
Because if it was capitation, they have to receive it first and then expense it. Even if they don't receive it in cash, they can have documents to receive it that the Kabete received on behalf, and they paid on their behalf, so that they can be reflected in their books. But and again, capitation comes for specific students.
Yes.
So was that account student accounts posted with that income? Am I still outstanding?
Finance.
Chair, I actually stand to be guided, because by this date, actually the college, all this amount, all the capitation in that financial year was not passing through our account. It was actually passing through Kabete's account. So I would ask actually to be guided on this, on how to actually tackle it, because now when I wrote to them, that was the response that I received.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Chair. I think the matter here is about the mental institution. Madam Principal, you need to visit that institution, that is Kabete,
yes,
together with your finance officer,
yes, sir,
so that you can reconcile. Then you engage the Auditor General, because we know the role played by these mental institutions, and we cannot wish them away. What is very important, make sure you reconcile.
Sure.
Moving forward, Chair.
I think we should give timelines for that to ensure compliance. So I think, Principal,
Chair,
yes, Mheshimiwa.
I think this institution have a right to get a reply from the mental institution, because the money was paid through them, and therefore they must account Kabete. Because they are right that they are unable to answer the question. Why can't the auditor also, through your office, Chair, ask Kabete to respond to this, if it is true?
Also, Chair,
yes,
because now the management says the competition for the whole year went to Kabete, so they were the ones who are managing that money on their behalf. I think when we have Kabete on board, they should be able to shed light on this.
Basically, Chair, because Kabete were before us, yeah? Probably when they will be appearing next, we engage them. But before then, I think this is an issue they can sort out.
Yeah, before that, yes, as you have indicated, Mheshimiwa, it's your responsibility, Principal.
Yes,
you have to ensure that this amount is accounted for.
Chair,
so it's for you to visit Kabete and ensure that this amount is these figures are reconciled.
I'll do
But
that.
if I recall, Chair, Chair, if I heard him right, I think he said they wrote to them. Did I hear that they wrote to them?
Yes, but
and there was no response.
But you can visit the institution physically, Principal.
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
You know, Madam Principal, okay, for the record, let me introduce myself. Maurice Kakai Bissau, MP Kimini, Trans Nzoia County. Let's be practical, Madam Principal.
Yes.
I'm sure you meet in your forums as principals.
True.
When did the last time you met, is it Mr. Nganga, what was his name again? The principal?
Mr. Mushemi.
Mushemi?
Yes.
When did you meet him last?
Last Monday.
Last Monday?
Yes.
So if you're serious, did you raise this issue? Or you prefer doing letters and keeping quiet? Did you raise this issue with Mr. Mushemi?
I didn't raise it. The one that I raised is for the handing over. But this one, according to the finance officer, it was settled because the board had agreed to cancel that.
Okay.
Because of the Kabete National Polytechnic bought the transformer for the institution that was costing even far more than 561. The board agreed in a board meeting that they cancel because actually they added to Naivasha TVC for us to be able to procure the transformer.
To me, this is an in-house issue. You can sort it out between the two principals, two institutions. It shouldn't even appear. It's something that should have been closed long time ago. So let's just be practical and close this issue.
Sure, I will do that.
In fact, on your way to Naivasha, please stop by Kabete and just sort it out.
I'll do that.
So I think, Principal, you're well guided on the same.
Thank you.
Okay. Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. The next paragraph was on unconfirmed trade and other payables from exchange transaction. This issue has also not been addressed. The statement of financial position reflects a balance of Kenya shillings 965,868 in respect of trade and other payables. However, the trade payables were not supported with invoices, delivery notes, and local purchase orders, which did not have dates and serial numbers.
Finance.
Thank you, Chair.
And you can also state the current status of the payables.
Currently, we have 0 payables in this last financial year, that is 2025-2026. Then the amount in question was actually 965,868 relates to trade payables of 563,411 and prepayment of 402,457. So the management have provided the schedule showing the payables and the supporting evidences. I think the major issue in this was some of the payables actually never required to have serial numbers because some of them were salaries and also kitchen budgets. And the ones that actually required the dates and the serial numbers and the receipts were actually provided.
Or provided, you know, the auditor is not in receipt of the same auditor. Or the documents provided?
Yes, Chair. The invoices, the delivery notes, and the local purchase orders were provided, but they were not dated.
They were not?
Dated.
Dated.
That was the issue that was raised, even in the certificate.
So finance, if they were not dated, are they genuine?
Not really.
Then how do you provide documentation without dates?
Management, I think Chair, I think the management cooked the vouchers. Because how on earth were they not dated?
Yeah, because if they are not dated, we'll just assume that they are not genuine.
Kindly, Chair, maybe allow me, I get the original copies. Yeah, they are there. The dates are there.
Chair.
Yes,
you know, the management is actually given an opportunity to respond to some of the issues that are raised, starting from the queries that were issued, the management letter, the draft report, and finally the certificate. And before an issue is put actually into certificate, the final certificate, then it means those documents, as at the time when they were provided, did not have those things.
If Chair, through you, if I may ask, how would the original have the date and the other documents don't have the date? Because I'm sure the auditor, even and they were the pre-conference, or even before the pre-conference, asked for those documents. By him capturing that in the report, it means that the document that he was given actually not have the date. So why, again, head of finance, you're telling this committee that your documents actually have a date, and the other documents in the possession of the auditors when they're auditing do not have the date? Are they the same documents?
Yes, they are.
But how come one doesn't have the
actually,
date?
maybe through the chair. In fact, by this time, we used to have the PVs, and those PVs actually were the original in terms of the documentation.
You know, payment vouchers, I mean, don't use acronyms. Not everybody understands that. Just try to, so that everybody can follow. So you mean payment vouchers, right?
Yeah, the payment vouchers.
Okay. So what happened to the payment vouchers, you're saying?
They are still the same one that I had provided to the auditor when we were actually doing the audit for that financial year.
And those ones had the dates?
They had the dates.
The daughter is saying no.
This document.
Mheshimiwa Nzambe, let Mheshimiwa Kakai finish.
Auditor, just shed some light. He's saying that they had the dates. Is that true?
From our end, Chair, they did not have the dates. As at the time,
yes,
as I had explained, that the audit process, you issue the queries, raise the issues, you issue a management letter, you issue a draft audit report before the final report. If the trade payables were supported with those invoices, delivery notes, and the local purchase orders, we would not have raised this thing.
So, Head of Finance, do you know your answered? And this is being beamed live.
What I can actually say is that during this time, as much as we actually had purchased, what I'm very sure is that the receipts were there. What might be missing might be maybe the delivery notes and the good receive notes, but the receipts were actually there and they were dated. Because even me as a finance officer, even paying for any payable, the invoice must also have a date.
May I know from the auditor chair, is there anything else missing on those receipts other than date? Maybe the figures, the numbers, anything else missing?
And you know, when a document is given, it's supposed to meet all the parameters, including even the date.
So
because if it was actually, if the date was maybe some years back, then they were not supposed to be reflected in the financial statements under review. So the date is very important
Chair.
for us. Chair.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
Asubuhi, mchana, usiku pia tunakujuza Kenya saa zote daima, kutoka mtaani hadi kwenye skrini. KenLive iko fresh, safi kabisa.
That was very clear, and it still stands that you see you must meet all the expectations. I think it's good to admit that there were mistakes from the beginning. Then we can proceed. Yeah.
Mheshimiwa Kakai.
In fact, a document without a date is invalid, number one. Number two, you've introduced another issue. When you last spoke, you said you didn't have delivery notes. Now, you as an accountant, in the payment cycle, a delivery note or the receipts is a critical document. How did you pay without those documents?
And again, you know, Mheshimiwa Sige has put it clearly. You know, as it stands, you didn't provide the documentation as per the request of the auditor, because if, according to you, the documents that you're having have the dates. But according to the auditor, it doesn't have the dates. Finance and principal, it's always important to liaise with the auditor. That's why there's that period that you're given to be able to provide everything to the auditor. Because as long as you have not furnished the auditor with the necessary documentations, we'll assume it's not genuine. The documents are not genuine. Because now you're indicating that you have the documents and they have proper dates, but you didn't furnish the exact documents to the auditor. So how are we supposed to confirm that they are genuine? Auditor?
Chair, I just want to be specific that the audit issue was about, however, the trade payables were not supported with invoices, delivery notes, and the local purchase orders, which were not dated and with serial numbers. So these are the documents which were not dated and they did not have the serial numbers. So the payment vouchers may have been dated, but the invoice attached to it was
not dated. Finance, do you have the exact documents with the correct dates?
And in addition to that, Chair, even said himself, did you have the delivery notes? Apart from the invoice, did you have the delivery note? Did you have the receipt completing that supply chain cycle?
Do you have the documents?
Chair, maybe let me be very truthful on this. On this period, I'm not trying to digress, but this is a period which we never had a procurement officer. So I was doing all the work as a finance officer and also procurement officer. And we are trying to build a system.
So finance, are the documents there?
So the only document that I have is the payment vouchers and the invoices or the receipts. That is the only thing that I had. Yeah.
So, question is, how do you confirm to this committee that actually the goods or services were received, minus the delivery note, for someone to take responsibility that the goods or services were received? How we as a committee, how do we know that actually we were paying for a service provided and getting value for every shilling that was spent?
And you don't have the LPOs?
Maybe you can give me
I
a
think
minute.
what you can do, direct, because we're in the middle of audit, just liaise with the auditor, and we'll give you maximum of a week, auditor, so that you can furnish the auditor with the necessary documentation. Then the auditor will report back to us. So that matter will be pending until you satisfy the auditor with the right documentation.
Chair.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
I mean, the auditor is here, the gentleman is here, he paid. So the issue of him being given a week to go and reconfirm he should tell us, was the purchase order there or not? At least I know the delivery note and the receipts were not there. But again, was the purchase order there? And it is illegal to buy and you're the same person paying. There's no checks and balances. So we don't need a week. Maybe the auditor can shed light. Was the purchase order there?
But Chair,
Mheshimiwa Sige.
But Chair, this gentleman, the finance officer, has admitted that he had only two documents. The rest he didn't have. I think by that, I think we can be able to ask the auditor to go and regularize whatever was
a
mistake.
Yes. So I think we can proceed. So auditor, finance and lies with the auditor, so that you can provide every single documentation and proper documentation to the auditor. Then the auditor will report back to us on the specific issue so that we can clear it. Is that in order?
Yes, Chair.
Auditor, proceed.
Okay, next paragraph is on budgetary control and performance. There was underfunding of Kenya shilling.
We have discussed.
Yes, we've discussed.
So as discussed.
Okay. Unresolved prior year matters.
As discussed.
Okay. Failure to deduct and remit taxes on board allowances, that was addressed. Irregular procurement of security services, that is also a paragraph that was addressed. Failure to hold optimal number of board meetings. This issue has not been addressed here. The Board of Governors
and their respective committee, including Audit and Risk Committee, Finance and Human Resource Committee, and the Education, Training and Infrastructure Committee, each held only 2 meetings out of the 4 that is recommended.
Pardon, auditor, sorry for that. Kindly repeat. Kindly, pardon, repeat.
There's a paragraph on report on effectiveness of internal controls, risk management and governance. Paragraph number 1, failure to hold optimal number of board meetings. The Board of Governors and their respective committee, including Audit and Risk Committee, Finance and Human Resource Committee, and Education, Training and Infrastructure Committee, each held only 2 meetings out of the 4 which is recommended.
Principal.
Thank you, Chair. The management could not have conducted all the 4 required BOG meetings per the year due to financial constraints because of non-remittance of government funding to the college. In the FY 2022-2023, each trainee received Kenya shillings 13,000 instead of the required annual amount of Kenya shillings 30,000. Hence, a deficit of Kenya shillings 17,000 per trainee.
Principal, apart from school fees, do you have any other sources of income as an institution?
We are starting on the IGA in various departments.
For example?
In the administration, we have procured an ID machine that we are able to liaise with other institutions like Naivasha Boarding, which we made some IDs for them, and we are also lobbying for other institutions. And in mechanical department, we are starting to manufacture bushes, and so in a short while, we'll be able to have some other sources of revenue.
Because no, how will you be able to run the institution if the board can't sit due to lack of resources? You know, it's important for you as an institution to always have other sources of income apart from school fees, because we'll be having this issue of capitation is constant. So at least as an institution, you have to look for other means of getting finances, because you know issues like board sitting, you know, you can't indicate that you lack finances to even hold sittings. Then how are you supposed to operate? How will you operate without the board? So
Chair,
it's up to you, Principal. Yes.
Chair, we are really working hard to ensure that our income generating activities are up in hills.
And currently, are you compliant?
Sorry,
with the recommended sittings, are you compliant? The specific issue, or you are still having 2 sittings?
No, this year I bet we were compliant. We had several meetings.
Yes, Mheshimiwa. I think I appreciate the principal is saying she's working hard, but I would request you also work smart. I mean, being a technical college, we are in the, you know, a technological advanced era. You don't need to meet physically. If you have a Zoom link, there's a way to capture the register of who is attending. And there's also a way to cut down costs. So in any case, being a technical unit, even go beyond the 4 meetings electronically. It's easier to save on the cost and stuff. So let's not say that we didn't have funds, that's why we didn't have meetings. I mean, that is old school. We're in a new era.
Mheshimiwa Sige?
Chair, I want to commend this management team. But if I was in their shoes, what could have been of my serious concern was the enrollment. And Chair, you see, this institution is strategically placed, it's in Naivasha. There is absolutely no reason why you cannot do more than 1,000 for the beginning. Otherwise, it's a very high potential place. And therefore, I want the principal to work on the issue of enrollment. And in fact, I would like you to work with your area MP so that they can be able to pay school fees for these trainees. That should be my concern if I were you.
Engineer?
Actually, I'm just having a sentiment from my colleague because the issue here is funds.
Yeah.
And whether you do a virtual, just physical meeting, at the end of the day, if the board members has to meet, whether virtually or physical, they'll still demand their package. So at the end of the day, the issue, the bottom line here is funding. So I encourage you to get more enrollment. Just market the institution, approach your member of parliament, and I know you can sponsor even more students. And basically, that one will propel you to manage these small problems.
Sure.
Yes, yes. For clarity, because it's raised that issue, on the allowance you pay, there is the sitting allowance and there's mileage, right?
Sure.
There's mileage.
Sure.
So certainly when you do it, and per diem, right? So if you do it electronically, you'll certainly bring down the cost because they're not moving for you to pay. So again, you're encouraged to do the virtual sort of meetings.
But
yes, Commissioner.
Before I also put up my question, but that fact of the virtual meetings should also be controlled so that you don't now decide that every quarter you're doing virtual meetings, because there are, apart from some other issues, there are things that the board needs to see in an institution. So that one you should also control, so that if you do maybe 2 meetings on virtual, then the other one should be physical, or 3 physical, 1 virtual, so that you don't now take advantage of that and say the committee advised me to have virtual meetings. Chair, mine was also on the issue of students. You know, we are in an era where we recognize prior knowledge. So we have many students out there. I don't know whether your registrar attends meetings, public rallies and all that, to do some advertisement of your institution, because that is key, so that you can have a better enrollment than 500 students. That is at a lower side. Consider the knowledge that people of Naivasha have. If you compare them with Narok, then I think you're not doing much on that side. Please work harder. Thank you, Chair.
I hope, Principal, you're well guided.
Yes, Chair, I'm well guided.
Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. I think we can now move to the financial year 2023-2024. And the first paragraph was on variances in historical cost between the financial statements and
the opinion, Auditor.
The opinion is qualified opinion. The first paragraph was on variances in historical cost between the financial statements and as a register. I think we had discussed in the previous financial year.
Proceed.
The second paragraph was on non-disclosure of intangible assets. We had also discussed.
Proceed.
In the previous financial year. The third one was on long outstanding receivables, which we had also discussed.
Yes, as discussed. Proceed.
Budgetary control and performance under funding. I think we had also discussed.
Proceed.
And resolve prior matters remain I think we had also discussed.
Yes, as discussed. Yes, proceed.
Failure to use e-procurement, that has been addressed.
Proceed.
And suboptimal committee meetings. I think this is what we've just discussed in the previous financial year.
Proceed. Let's continue with it.
So next financial year is 2024-2025. The opinion is a qualified opinion, and the first paragraph was inaccuracies in the statement of comparison of budget and actual amount. That has been addressed.
Proceed.
And supported rendering of services, fees from students, that has also been addressed.
Proceed.
And supported traveling and accommodation. Chair, this has not been addressed. The statement of financial performance reflects use of goods and services expenditure of Kenya shillings 14,324,436 as disclosed in Note 15 to the financial statements. Included in the expenditure is traveling and accommodation expenses amounting to Kenya shillings 3,220,599. However, the expenditure was not supported with evidence of travel to destination, authority to use private vehicles, and attendance sheets.
Principal or finance?
Chair, allow me to invite my finance officer to respond to that.
Finance.
Thank you, Chair. The amount in question of 3,220,599 for traveling and accommodation expense relates to 3 sub-vote heads. That is daily subsistence allowance, which amounted to 2,052,339. We also have transport and lunch facilitation of 619,120, and lastly, transport facilitation of 549,140. Then the use of private cars has also been tried in our Naivasha TVC finance policy on page 32. So, sir, when we look at that categorization, I think the whole issue came on the issue like the transport facilitation, which is amounting to 549. The documents that you require to evidence that you actually traveled, they are actually different from the daily subsistence allowance, and also even transport and lunch facilitation. So that documentation, some may lack, some are actually lacking, like in transport facilitation only. You may not actually have like attendance register for where you're actually going. But now when you come to the category of the per diem, which is the daily subsistence allowance, the documentation that are required is the invitation letter, the program, the attendance list, back to office report, and approved facilitation schedule. But now when you also come now to the transport and lunch facilitation, you only require now the approved transporter and also the evidence for attendance. And also when you now come to the transport facilitation, you require the transport requisition form and the evidence of travel.
So, I think we need to have the schedules.
Did you provide the auditor with whatever you're saying, the documentations?
Yeah, when I was doing the response, I did provide the schedule categorizing them in the 3, but when he was actually doing the audit, by then, I hadn't.
Auditor, you later on received the documentation?
Yes, Chair, but there was the finance policy that is alluding to.
Yes.
Was also not signed.
Why was it not signed, finance?
Maybe it was a mistake, Chair. I actually sent the soft copy, which never now which didn't have the soft signature. But we actually have a signed finance policy.
Chair.
I'm sorry for that.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
This is an omission. These are omissions, and they are serious omissions. And I'm wondering what these qualifications are. Because these are just simple things. Even an accounts clerk can do it. What is your qualification?
Sir, I'm a certified public accountant of Kenya.
But that qualification match with this, whatever you are doing here, because it is very shoddy.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
From our observation since the first queries, can I call you CPA? Yes. CPA, you need to be careful with your profession, because I was almost tempted to propose that we put you on oath. So you are not consistent. In fact, with this issue, you are answering so lousy in such a way that, is it that you think we are not following, or we are brushing off the matter so that you leave, you go back to Naivasha? Let me tell you, how would you approve payments? And then now, when the auditors come, you say the documents are not there. How are you running the process? Because out of the process as it began, there must be a plan, a budget, they voted, as you've mentioned. Then what was the big deal of not having the documents at the very time when the exercise was on? Of course, somebody cannot attend a meeting without a calling letter. And in the process, there are documentation which are being prepared as you attend. And when you come back, there are attendance registers, attendance lists which are signed. What's the big deal? When the auditors are there, and now you are telling us that you did not have them now you got them sometime. You know, this
you are not consistent. We may be forced to put you on oath so that maybe we pronounce ourselves otherwise. Because this is a lot of money, and we feel like we may, you seem to be fit to pay back the 3 million. We are not there, but be careful. Thank you, Chair.
And
Chair,
yes, yes, Mheshimiwa.
Chair, can the finance officer tell us whether these documents are available and why they were not available during the audit period? So do you have the documents? Because the thing is, there were no documentation to show that these people attended that they traveled, whether it was a workshop or whatever it was. Do you have the documents now?
Sir, let me answer. The issue was when the auditor was actually raising the question, he actually considered the whole amount of the 3 million, that they were missing all those evidences, which was not the case. And that's now when I now went ahead now to categorize.
Chair.
On inter officer.
Chair, is the officer right to doubt or to cast aspersion on the work of the auditor? That it was not the 3 million, because an audit process is not fault finding, right? It's a process, and I believe it's a friendly process, whereby you told this is an audit query, give us a documentation to that effect, and you provide those documents. So he's not going to tell you that I'm doing this. If there are a few, let's say one, travel documents and all that, but you cannot tell us, officer, that the auditor did not look at the entire amount. I mean, was looking at the entire amount and not a specific amount. You're not guiding the auditor. It's the auditor to guide you on what documentation they want. Yeah. So do not go that route, because you'll be treading on very dangerous ground.
Chair.
Let Mheshimiwa Bisau.
Thank you, Chair. What I see from this institution, the rule makers are the rule breakers. The Board of Governance, they've gone through an expenditure which you cannot account for. And two, you're trying also to demystify the figure that the auditor has come up with. Suppose it was 100,000, 300,000. It's not the figure. It is the principle behind good governance, bookkeeping. Number two, Chair, what type of graduates do we expect from this institution? You're teaching human resource, you're teaching business management, there's ICT there, and record keeping is part of it. Process flow on everything else. What type of graduates do we really expect from this institution? Certainly, you cannot walk the talk because you're not able even to keep the basics. In every course you're teaching here, there's that component of record keeping, transparency, accountability, which we are not seeing. And Madam Principal, what is very clear in this institution, you've got a few persons you're operating with, the accountant and maybe the procurement, right? Where is HR? An example.
Chair.
Where is the other grouping? So again, Chair, there is a serious issue in this institution. We've been told about the qualification of the accountant, but he's not walking the talk. He's not demonstrating that he's able to do that. And for the principal also, you need to demonstrate that you're in the driver's seat. You are in control. That control, we cannot see it. Suppose, through the chair, we asked all these board members to come here and show them these expenditures. Can you confirm to us that they'll confirm that they actually received this money?
Chair.
Yes, Mheshimiwa Sige.
First of all, I may wish to ask the auditors, which they have answered, that this management never answered the audit queries. They lost. They failed the test. That's number one. Number two, Chair, I want to say, and I want to ask auditors to tell us, to confirm that there was misappropriation of funds because they were paid maybe the wrong thing. And then, Chair, we need to find out who is culpable for this loss of money and who is supposed, because this money is for public money and it must be paid back.
You know, principal on finance, you know, the constant thing here is late submission of documents. And, you know, as earlier the auditor explained the whole audit cycle, whereby you as an institution, you're given time to answer to respond or answer to the audit queries and provide even supporting documentation of the specific queries. You know, when it comes to these travel and accommodation expenditures, the documentation that the auditor requested for, which you submitted late. Auditor, the documents were submitted late. That's what you have indicated. Yes, Mheshimiwa.
So that you can answer together. I want to confirm from the Auditor General, in your view, was there any money lost in this case?
I don't think we can really say that money was lost, but the money that was spent on traveling and accommodation was not supported with the requisite documentation.
Here is the submission of proper documents, because according to the Auditor General is saying that they cannot confirm whether there was any money lost.
Yes.
So I think the ball stops at you. I think it's good you keep proper records to avoid all these small issues and the signing of documents and the time submission of documents. I think, Chair,
yes,
if that one can be done, this small problem will not rise. Because obviously, this is the money which was spent. And the problem is in documentation.
You know, Principal, as Mheshimiwa Kakai indicated, you know, you need to take charge of your institution. And you know, when it comes to record keeping, you're poor. Because from the beginning of the audit, you know, it has been late submission of documentation. So, Finance, were you able to submit this required documentation to the auditor? What he requested for?
Chair, I think it's actually my mistake because in this financial year, our college has been growing, and in that office I was actually alone. So you can imagine all the work I'm the one who was actually doing. So the documentation, I agree, it was not in proper keeping, and so the ones that I actually provided was not satisfactory. Yes.
Chair, I think Chair.
Yes,
just a minute, Chair. So do you have the documents with you now? Are they there that you think it will satisfy the auditors?
Yes.
If you do, Chair, I would request that we let this penned, then we review it in the subsequent year where they'll submit those documents to the auditor. Then now this be carried forward to the next financial year. That's my opinion, Chair.
Yeah, I think, Chair, we can proceed. I've seen the breakdown of the whole figure into, he has broken it into 3 items, daily subsistence and all that, up to transport facilitation. What he needs to do is to provide a certified documentation moving forward.
I think I direct that, you know, in 1 week, you know, I had earlier given instructions of the other documentation to be provided. So I think, auditor, we can also include this specific one. So for them to provide the documents, then you'll report back to us. So as for now, we'll leave it pending until you're satisfied with the response. So let's proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chair. We can now go to paragraph number 4 on unsupported Board of Governors expenses. That was supported and addressed. Long outstanding receivables, this is also something that we've touched on, we've addressed, discussed. Inaccuracies in property, plant and equipment, that has also been addressed. Budgetary control and performance, it has also been addressed. And reserve prior year matters, this is also something that has been discussed. Paragraph on report on lawfulness and effectiveness in use of public resources, failure to maintain an impress register, it has been addressed.
Proceed.
Lack of an approved staff establishment, this was also provided, it has been addressed.
Proceed.
I think, Chair, those were the only issues.
Thank you so much, Auditor. Principal, we come to the end of this engagement. And as I indicated earlier, you know, the constant thing here is the late submission of papers, of the documents. And your bookkeeping is poor. So you need to take charge of institution principal. You know, moving forward, we really don't want to see repeated mistakes, the same issues. And you know, when it comes to income generating activities, I'll advise, you know, you're a technical institute. So you need to look for more sources of income apart from school fees collection. Because, you know, you can't survive with the school fees collection only. You need to improvise, you need to look for more resources. So IGA, the income generating activities, that's important. You can't run an institution without so. You know, we have audited several institutions. Order Mheshimiwa Sigei. Order. So, Principal, you know, we have audited several institutions which are generating more income apart from collection of school fees. And they're able to run the institution smoothly. So I think you also need to adopt that. And I'll ask our chair to maybe. Okay, I think we have come to the end of it. So I hope, Principal, you are well guided.
Sure, I am, Chair.
And at least you need to advertise your school because the 500 students, you know, it's on a lower side. Yes, Chair.
Maybe the only issue I wish to comment on that is that where you are situated in a very good place, but your enrollment is extremely low. So I think my members have raised the same, because the potential you have is huge. And therefore, we need to see you work extra hard as a new principal to ensure that you double the numbers.
Well guided, Chair. I will do that.
Thank you so much, Principal. We are done.
Thank you
Travel
very much.
safely.
Thank you.
Next. Gilgil. Mwenje.
Kenya saa zote daima, kutoka mtaani hadi kwenye skrini. KenLive iko freshi safi kabisa. KenLive, sauti yako, vibe yako, kituo chako, habari muhimu, burudani ya kipekee. Kituo chako, habari muhimu, burudani ya kipekee. Nyumbani kwa habari na burudani. KenLive iko freshi safi kabisa. KenLive, sauti yako, vibe yako, kituo chako.
Hello everyone, Levi Lian from PBU.
We're done. Have you introduced yourself? PBU atakani Gen Z wote.
Good morning, everyone. Duncan Kiplagat, PBU. Sorry, good afternoon.
It seems that all the PBUs are Gen Zs, eh? Okay. Okay, so we can get to hear the principal.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Ngoge Mbogwa, the principal Gilgil TVC from Gilgil, Nakuru County.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. I'm Lucy Mokundi, Finance Officer, Gilgil TVC.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Caroline Wambua, Procurement Officer, Gilgil TVC.
I'm told I skipped the audit team, kindly, sorry.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Felix Itonge from the Office of the Auditor General, Liaison.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Kenneth Biegon from the Office of the Auditor General.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Chair. My name is CPA Nyandwaki Henry, Director of Audit from Nakuru Region Office.
Thank you. So, Principal, karibu sana. My name is CPA Dick Maungu, MP Luanda Constituency and Chairman of the committee.
Asante.
You are appearing here for one financial year?
Yes, sir.
Did you appear last year?
Yes, sir. We appeared last year to respond to the financial year 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022, 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, sir.
So you appeared for 6 years?
For those years that
for those years you mentioned.
When it was initiated.
When was the college formed?
It was, it started, that is the construction started in 2018, and the first principal joined the institution 2021. The first intake, yes, sir.
And then how many students do you have now?
120 students, sir. And we have 40 who are in attachments.
That's now my first problem.
Chair, I also want to understand some clarity as you're following that one on the number of students. You know, this letter here says Naivasha Technical and Vocational College, and then there's Gilgil Technical and Vocational College. Well, what is the relationship here? You know, I think we need to understand, is one a mentor to the other one? Or is it a change of name? Okay, it can't be change of name because they are both there. So at least we just need to understand that relationship first.
Thank you, sir. There is the letter sent to us. I think that is what the honorable member is referring to. The letter also in Appendix 14 is also of a similar nature, which had about 4 institutions combined. So the same or a similar one was sent to us. We only know we are TVC located in Nakuru County, Gilgil Technical and Vocational College.
So there's no relationship between Gilgil and Naivasha?
Not at all, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now, my concern, this college was born in 2021 or 2018 there. The first cohort came in 2021. And you have 120 learners. Those are extremely few. You look at the kind of investment put in terms of millions putting up the structure. Look at the trainers who have been posted there by government. And all you can do is to have 120 students?
Chairman, I joined the institution last year in January. And so in the past, there were some intakes that were done. We also had a government policy where there was multiple campaign to have the students join without paying, as stated by them who are doing marketing then. And 2024, before I joined in 2025, there was a massive campaign by SPTVET and the government through Dr. Kimiru, and they were able to have 800 students in that institution. But when they were asked to pay by November, December that year, all of them disappeared. So by the time I came in 2025, I found no student. In this case, I had to start by telling them we have nothing to do but to make sure you only come and pay for the exam and do the exams. And, you know, because they ran away because there was no money. Term 1, I managed to get 270 students. That is January, May 2025. May, August 2025, we managed to have 404 students in the institution.
Short courses?
Majority were short courses, very few for level 6, which is diploma. And those for diploma, even now they are there, few of them. In term 3, September, December, we managed to have 280 students. And majority went for attachment. In fact, by now, some are out for attachment, and we hope they'll complete soon. And so by January 2025, even by when we did the marketing, we only got 15 students, another 40 students, including the COOPS students who are located to that institution. May, August, the term that we are in, even when we did the marketing, we only got 15 students, one did not turn up. Now, by yesterday, we are out for marketing together with the NGC, the GAO, National Government Officers, present in Gilgil constituency. And we hope this time we shall get many more. The many challenges, one, the locality of the institution, the transport means to that institution, housing of that institution, and two, the finances. The parents there, the capability to pay fees is a challenge. But we pray and we are doing the best we can to increase the number of enrollment. Thank you, sir.
Principal, you've lamented a lot.
The situation on the ground. I wish Chairman you to come to the ground and see what I'm talking about.
From the road network all the way to whatever. But you see now, how far is the college from Gilgil town?
50 kilometers to the west, next to Mau
In
Forest.
this case, west is next to Mau Forest. Okay. Yes, Mheshimiwa Bisau.
Thank you, Chair. One, I feel that the principal is wasted. I mean, a doctorate being sent to an institution of 100 and less students, is it 120? I think it's something we need to pick up with Waziri tomorrow when he comes. There has to be matching, balancing act, where you look at the capability of the person and the institution, so that we make maximum use of the human resource we have. Secondly, many institutions have benefited through the accommodation of students. I mean, most of the member of parliaments here have benefited from their constituencies. And your area member of parliament, which is Gilgil, right? That's
Yes,
Madam
sir.
Wangari.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, she's quite a seasoned
Very
and
good
sitting
lady.
on a very, top committee in the House. I'm wondering, haven't you benefited from, because we know accommodation suddenly, because of the distances, will suddenly be one of the motivating factors for you to have more students. So are you telling this committee that you've not benefited from the accommodation, staff accommodation, and there is no plan for that? Are you confirming that's the case?
Chairman, I would confirm and say our MP, in fact, is the one who has made this college get to the level it is. And through her, we are now having the affordable student hostels coming up.
So it's coming up.
It is
what
there.
capacity?
For 340
completion time?
beds. It's supposed to be completed by February 2027, sir.
So that will suddenly enable you to
increase the enrollment.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we could continue?
I think this institution has a potential to grow. If at one given time they could manage to have 800 students, then I think it is manageable to have an average of 600, 700 to 1,000. So I think just go for those 800 who first reported, know where they are, persuade them to come back, and also team up with the member of parliament and the neighboring member of parliament as well.
And so maybe just to know, apart from Gilgil Tibet, do you have any other college around within Gilgil?
Yes, we have the NYS, who normally takes the course. We have Left Valley National Pore, which is in Nakuru town. And we have the VCTs by the county government. And in this case, the VCTs are free. So majority of our potential students have opted to go to the VCTs, which are free.
But the VCTs are only offering level 3?
Yes, but none has now joined us because it became effective last year.
So, Doctor, we've heard you. I think let's now see the reports that, the issues that have been raised. Auditor? Okay, this is the report of the Auditor General for Gilgil Technical and Vocational College for the year ended 30th June 2025. Chair, the opinion for the financial year was qualified opinion. The first paragraph was on inaccuracies in the financial statements, which has been addressed. The second paragraph was on variances in revenue from rendering of services, which has also been addressed. Paragraph number 3 is on inaccuracy of employee cost. That also has been addressed. Unsupported use of goods and services expenditure, that has also been addressed. Paragraph number 5, unsupported property, plant and equipment, that has also been addressed. Paragraph number 6 on unsupported trade and other payables, that has also been addressed. Emphasis of matter, paragraph on budgetary control and performance, this has also been partially addressed. Maybe I can read that one. There was underfunding of Kenya shillings 18,570,233, or 62% of the budget, and over expenditure of Kenya shillings 10,827,286, or 93% of the actual receipts. The underfunding and over absorption affected the planned activities of the college and may have impacted negatively on service delivery to the public. Principal.
Thank you, Chair. The issue in question, we had partially addressed it. And in this case, as I came, I could say what we found we were able to work on as per the questions addressed. And in this case, there were some monies from HELP which were not included in this. Rather, the amount that were not included were the HELP. Sorry. Let the accountant respond to that one.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Okay, the underfunding mostly resulted from delay in disbursement of the help fund and the scholarship for the student. And for the over expenditure, there was a cash that was brought forward from the previous year. That was 10 million. Purposely was a conditional grant that was to be used to equip the institution. So the money carried forward that was used for, okay, the over expenditure was as a result of that cash and cash equivalent that was brought forward from the previous year. Thank you, Chair.
Accountant, you realize that if you carry forward funds from the previous year, it will make part of your funds for this year. So as you spend brought forward and the one. So that excuse of yours, does it really bind that explanation you've given? Because you said it was a carry forward from last year.
Yes.
Going by that, then I wouldn't buy, because if we carry forward from previous year, unless you operate a zero-based budget.
Pardon?
Unless you are doing a zero-based budget, if you carry it forward from last year, meaning it will be part of what you expend this year. So I don't expect to have over expenditure.
Okay. That funds were conditional grant, which means they could not be used for any other expenditure. So the procurement for that financial year delayed. That's why that money was not used.
Auditor, do you buy that?
No, Chair, that response cannot be put because she brought forward the funds, she forgot the budget. And if she could have brought both the budget and the funds, then it could have been balanced.
That is a simple explanation I was waiting, because you are an accountant.
Yes, sir.
If you carried forward from last year, you brought into this year, it cannot be an issue now that we have over expenditure, because when you carried forward from last year from basic accounting, you make it part of this year, it becomes part of your expenditure, is it? And you do the right thing. So I think you failed on that one as an accountant.
Noted, Chair.
Next.
Okay, Chair, the second paragraph was imbalanced budget. The statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts reflect budgeted total income amount of Kenya shillings 30,180,205 against budgeted expenditure of Kenya shillings 21,531,536, resulting to unexplained and unreconciled variance of Kenya shillings 8,648,669.
Principal.
So I wish the accountant would respond to that.
Accountant.
Okay, noted, Chair. The variance is the same as the one we have just explained. The college incorporated the cash and cash equivalent that had been brought forward. Now it is noted that I should have incorporated it in the budget for that financial year.
Yeah, I think, Auditor, we can just go with the previous ruling from the chair. So let's proceed.
The first one, under what? Unresolved prior matters, as discussed.
Proceed.
A report on lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of public resources, non-compliance with the public sector accounting standards, board reporting requirement. The financial statements presented for audit did not include all information provided in the format prescribed and published by Public Sector Accounting Standards Board.
Principal.
Yes, sir.
I'm an auditor. The principal to respond to that issue raised.
That is the unsolved issues. We are committed to implement and any recommendations that is issued by the committee. And here,
Principal, just hold.
Yes.
Yeah, Principal is not answering. You're on a different issue. The issue was on the accounting, isn't it? Auditor. He's answering a different question.
Sorry, I thought that Deputy Chair had resolved that, but
No,
maybe I'd go back
through, I think through the chair, we are done with the unresolved prior year matters. We are at non-compliance with the IPSA's reporting standard.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That is issue number 10. Thank you. The management acknowledges of what had been stated by the Auditor General, and we know it's true because by then I had just gotten the procurement and the finance, the accounting officer in, and with this one we pledged to comply to all the recommendations of the committee, and in our in budget 25-26, this has been complied to, sir.
Mheshimiwa Mwenje.
Chair, the finance officer, is this the finance officer?
Yeah.
Can we just know her qualifications and when did she start?
Pardon?
Your qualifications and when did you start working there? Turn on this mic.
On record.
Okay, I started working there around in November 2024. I'm a CPAK. Yes.
So you're the one who prepared this?
Yes.
But they're not in the format as required, and you are CPA. CPAK.
Yes, sir.
So what happened there?
Okay.
So, have you worked for a government institution before?
No.
This is your first posting?
Yes.
But now you've caught up, you know how it needs to be done.
Very much.
Now, Madam CPA, what the auditor is saying and what Mheshimiwa Mwenje is trying to capture, fortunately, you've clarified that this is your first encounter to work in a public organization. So I think, Principal, you have a duty to empower your staff.
Yes, sir.
You may be a CPAK as your colleague, as your staff rather, but inductions and frequent trainings are important to update oneself with the standards. IPSAs are many, and these are many, so you need to keep on updating them so that they can be empowered. So, Auditor, I hope as you move in, we wish to find if the technical team is compliant or not, so keep the matter in view.
Yes, thank you. Chair, next paragraph is on failure to prepare and submit quarterly financial statements. Review of the financial records revealed that quarterly financial reports and their respective ledgers were not prepared and provided for audit review.
Principal?
Chair, as it was stated, before there was no accounting officer, and so they had not been prepared. But from thence, and with this report, we comply. For the whole of this year, we are present, the financial year 25-26, we submitted our quarterly reports.
They'll confirm that.
Sure.
Yeah. Next.
Next is failure to deduct and remit statutory deductions. Statement of financial performance reflects employee cost amount of Kenya shillings 2,511,150. However, a review of monthly payroll revealed that the deductions in respect of National Social Security Fund and Social Hospital Authority and Housing Levy contributions were not deducted and remitted as required.
Principal?
Chairman, that was true. By then, there were no deductions, but immediately that was rectified, and there are documents to show that we are doing what we are supposed to do. We are remitting the deductions, sir.
Yes.
I can see the principal is admitting everything. It was true by then, now it was true. Remember, this is an audit cycle. We are not discussing the audit of now. We are discussing the audit during that time. Now you are supposed to tell us why were you doing that at that time?
Thank you, Chairman. As I stated, I came in February, rather in January 2025, and the matter in question began in July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. And so for those that were there before, I could not be able to have done that one backdated.
Then why are you answering? Why are you carrying a burden which is not yours?
No, sorry. I've just said by then we could not be able to retrieve back to that.
Status now. Status.
We have complied and we have documents to show that whatever was suggested is put in place. We have deducted and remitted the deductions. Sir.
Any proof?
Yes.
Which appendix?
Appendix 7, sir.
Members can confirm Appendix 7. Continue next, Auditor.
Chair, before you proceed.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
The principal gives an impression that, he's come over, things were in a mess, he's trying to fix it. But it would be good also to understand where did you come from? So that, because I know there's a possibility of us crisscrossing again, so that we really understand when to come to that institution, we know who was there.
I came from Nyandarua National Polytechnic. I was the deputy academics in Nyandarua National Polytechnics before I joined Gilgil Technical and Vocational College, sir.
Secretary, I think take note, so we can look at that when we look at Nyandarua.
This is your first posting as a principal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, Auditor.
Non-compliance with the law on recruitment of staff living with disabilities. Review of the payroll revealed that the college had 15 employees on contractual basis, out of whom none is a person living with disability.
Principal?
Sir, Chairman, we comply and we would comply by all necessary steps taken, only that them who had applied for the various vacancies in the various teaching and non-teaching positions, none had disability. I found the support staff already in place, and the trainers that has been contracted in my watch, none has applied with disability. If one comes, I will submit and have him or her enrolled to work. Thank you, sir.
Chair.
The camera behind me is just communicating what you've communicated to the nation.
Yes, sir.
That people living with disabilities did not apply in your college.
Up to now, sir.
I hope National Council for Persons with Disabilities is watching also, and they'll be on your neck tomorrow.
I wish they do it. If there is any application done, none to my knowledge.
Chair.
Principal, are you sure you'll be safe if they're on your neck? Because these people are members of society, and they must be part and parcel of our staff establishment. Because I believe maybe you have one or two or so students with disabilities. It's only fair that even the staff reflect that face of our nation, because they are part and parcel of us. Yes, Mheshimiwa.
I'm quite worried when I hear this principal saying those persons living with disability, when they come, I'll reconsider them. That is very casual principle. What I expect you to do is to be very intentional. And this is how you have to do it. Headhunting. Number two, for any advertisement you have, send it to the Association of the Kenya Person Living with Disability for them to disseminate within their network. When you say an example, when they come, a blind person, an example, or an handicapped person, they tend to be more frequent on their website or their networks for them to access the jobs. But if you say you'll be there for them to come, I think it's a very unfair statement. So be deliberate and ensure that in the next recruitment, you do that.
Through the chair. Principal, you have indicated there are 15, the staff.
The staff that have been employed by the institution.
Yes, 15.
Both trainers and the other workers. 15.
Yes,
yes
15. Because, when it comes to PWD, you only require 5%. And 5% of that number, it's just, I think, one. The moment you employ one, you'll be compliant. So I think it's now up to you, Principal.
Maybe, Chair, let me know. Do you know the procedure of getting these people? Or we just advertise and wait for them to come?
Chairman, I think I stated that the environment might be, I'm not saying it's a one, might be challenging for them maybe to have the opportunity to come to the environment. And the last recruitment by the government, we had 3 chances for the PSC trainers in our institution, and none if I would say from my knowledge, has applied. And you see even that one, it is just for us to do the recruitment, forward it to the PSC for employment.
Chairman, let him know. I've just understood your thing. You are not supposed to be a reactive. You are becoming a government of the day.
Thank you, sir.
A reactive person is somebody who waits until something happens, and then that's the time for you to react. You must be proactive.
I will get to that.
Understand what the law requires you to do. Then, if that area has challenges, improvise a method of covering, filling the gap.
I oblige, Chairman.
Thank you. Next, Auditor.
Lack of internal audit function and audit committee. During the year under review, the college has not constituted an audit committee and an internal audit function as required by the law and regulations.
Principal?
Chairman, that was noticed and informed to us, and we have already requested Aravist National Polytechnic to help us with their internal audit officer, who is now engaged and is doing internal audit in our institution. And we have also have a board committee that deals with audit and risk and audit, sir.
And Rift Valley was your mentor?
No, the Nairobi National Polytechnic was our mentor.
Have they given you any support? Did they give you any support as you are beginning?
Not as before, because I did not get any by then.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, Auditor.
Next one is on lack of an approved strategic plan. That was addressed. Lack of an approved staff establishment. That was also addressed. Lack of risk management and fraud policy. That was addressed. Failure to maintain an impress register. That was addressed. That's all, Chair.
Thank you. So I think, Principal, we come to the end of our engagement. But one thing that is very clear from this committee, you have to go back and work on your numbers.
Yes,
we cannot have an excuse whereby a college where government has spent millions and they're equally doing a hostel worth millions, you only attract 120. Yet we know Gilgil has a lot of these young people. They don't have to go to Rift Valley. That is a bit far. You capture the market around. So you need to engage your marketing gears and ensure that you have the right numbers for you even to break even. Otherwise, utakuwa ukilia kila wakati hakuna pesa ya kulipa mshahara.
Yes, Chairman. We shall do that. And we are really on that, sir. Thank you very much.
Asante. Yes, Mheshimiwa, just before.
Chair, I wanted to find out from the principal, are you the one who prepared this physical document?
This one is prepared by my accountant here.
By your accountant? Yes. Like I said, because you're still new, this presentation is not the right way to do it. Yeah. What we've been looking at and what is being read by the auditor, Chair, maybe you might not be privy to this. We don't have everything. You know, here you've just highlighted inaccuracies in financial statements. The details are not there. But the auditor has the details. So I would advise you, talk to the auditor, have a look at what the other institutions have come in. Look at how theirs are, and we will break it down. There's a way you do it in 3 sections: effectiveness and controls and what. There's a way they do it under certain headings, so that you're able to divide that issues. This presentation is not for a CPA holder. I think, Chair, you'll agree with me, based on the others. So I think it's just giving us some guidance on how to present it in the next one.
Chair.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Cheers, Mheshimiwa Bisau.
Thank you. Just an observation. Chair, just an observation.
Yes.
And within the strategic plan of the ministry, of the State Department of TVET, I think we need to be very deliberate. If you look at what is being explained, there is NYS there is this institution there's another one. And I remember like the case of his constituency, where there's an institution there that gives, free, facilities, free education and stuff. suddenly, because of the economic situation, people will tend to go to the free one. So even as we establish these institutions, let's be very deliberate. Let's have a need assessment. Let's be very strategic, because the establishment of, you know, institutions all over, and we cannot meet the numbers. You can imagine if these idle resources could be sort of combined with another institution, and then the services are improved. I think that will really help. And that gives me that question is it very strategic to do those accommodation of over 300 plus students where you're hardly at 120? Or is there a need also where you could collapse it with another one so that to ensure that you have sufficient staff, sufficient services, and sort of, so maybe it's something that we need to table with Waziri tomorrow when he comes in this committee, sort of amalgamation of different institutions in a place, good one, big one with all the facilities and well equipped and well resourced in terms of human resource. Thank you, Chair.
Chair.
Yes, Mishma.
I'm on the wrong side, I know.
On the wrong side.
Chair, for record, I am Ambassador Francis Gay. I want to believe in this principle, that whatever he's doing it because he knows he will get more students. Now, my question is, what is your strategic target in terms of what you want to achieve, in terms of enrollment?
Thank you, Chair. Yesterday, as I've just stated, I requested the GAO, the DCC, Gilgil constituency or sub-county, to have a meeting with the, to organize for a meeting with the chiefs and the sub-chiefs from the various locations, which we met, and we talked, and we agreed that they mobilize the youths in their locations, where we would at least have per location, we have 11 locations. If per location we can get at least 50, that already makes about 550. And so we hope we are going to do it and to get. The only challenge is the issue of fees by the parents in this sub-county. That the student, and particularly even for now, is very dry. We suppose, under which you visit as a committee, see what we are talking about. The source of income is what they do, farming. But now the crops, the rain have failed, so anytime they may even have no food to eat. So they may be willing, the youth there, but how do the parents sustain them in the college? Thank you, sir.
Chair, I can't accept that, that explanation. There's no reason why you cannot achieve that figure. Don't tell us about weather forecast. Everywhere is dry now. So, and Gilgil is a strategic place. If I were you, I would be leaving this meeting a worried man in terms of enrollment.
Chairman, I would say I'm very worried, and I wish I can do all the best to have that. I'm wasted, as somebody said, as one of the honorable members said. I feel bad, but I said, those who were before me were living in 3 months. 3 months. The one who stayed most was 1 year. I said I will remain there, do the suffering they have until I get at least a way forward. Thank you very much.
Chair, release this principal. He has tried his best. Release him to go home
and look for more students.
Yes.
Now, principal.
I'm Karido Kili, MP Gambe Central. I think the principal is soon determined. Chair. You are encouraging. Go and do what you are saying. Don't only do it. Don't only say it. Go and do it.
Thank you, sir.
God will bless you when you bring some kids.
But how do you measure the level of determination, Mheshimiwa? You might be a preacher. Principal, you might be a preacher, and you know preachers are good at articulating issues and selling hope.
I'm not a preacher, but I'm a believer.
Others, I think members have rightly captured that this will be the institution with the lowest number of students that we've so far.
I believe so. I will
We've
try
had
my
people
best.
all the way from Elgeyo Marakwet. Elgeyo Marakwet, kule chini, their numbers are better. Gilgil cannot afford to have 120 because when you talk about an institution in Gilgil huko chini kabisa, they have 300 or 400, then something must happen. So I think we shall also engage your member of parliament. I'd engage as my colleague to find out how best they could support you. And from what members have captured, you seem to have the right determination. So you stay there until something happens.
Chairman, allow me just appreciate my member of parliament. One, last year, by that time when I had 4 students, she sponsored 130 students for a short course of 2 terms. And I appreciate. 2, the students that are in my college, they get bursaries. In fact, she has made that college to be afloat. Otherwise, I think we'd be at a mess. Thank you, Chairman.
Asante. Safiri salama.
Nashukuru sana.
Thank you.
Asanteni sana.
So, members,
Chairman.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
Chair, I wanted to find out if we still expect the CS tomorrow, and if we do, one of the big issues we've had is this capitation. So do we have at least ready to submit to the Secretary?
Maybe just before that, we finished our formal meetings. We can ask the cameras to be off so that we discuss our issues now.
Tunakujuza Kenya saa zote daima, kutoka mtaani hadi kwenye skrini. KenLive iko freshi safi kabisa. KenLive, sauti yako, vibe yako, kituo chako, habari muhimu, burudani ya kipekee. Kituo chako, habari muhimu, burudani ya kipekee. Nyumbani kwa habari na burudani. KenLive iko freshi safi kabisa.